Christmas time at Camelot that time of the year when all King Arthur's knights gather to celebrate the birth of their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For 15 joyous days after Holy Mass each morning, there was nothing but feasting and dancing and singing and hunting and jousting too. Jousting was the favorite sport, each knight striving to unseat the mighty Sir Lancelot, but rarely succeeding, of course, and all was done in fun, in a spirit of great comradeship, for they were happy to be all together once more at this blessed time. During the year, these lords were often parted from one another and from their ladies as they rode out through the kingdom on their dangerous missions. So this was at a time when love and friendship were renewed, at time to celebrate with their young king all their achievements and their great and good purpose to bring peace to the land and make of it a kingdom and near to a heaven on earth as had never been before been achieved in Britain or in any other land come to that.
On New Year's Eve, after evening Mass had been said in the chapel, and generous New Year's gift and exchanged, the High King and God, whenever his queen came at last into the great hall where all the lords and ladies were waiting to dine. No one could begin the feasting until they came. Of course, so as you can imagine, the lords and ladies cheered them to the rafters when they saw them. Guinevere had never looked so gloriously beautiful as she did that evening, and there were gasps of admiration from around the hall.
With Arthur on one side and her and Gawain on the other, Guinevere sat down at the high table, which was set on a splendid dais, draped all about with silk and richly hung with the finest tapestries from Toulouse and Turkestan, then with drummers drumming and pipers piping. The servants came in carrying the food on a great silver plates, piling each table high with roasted meat, capons and venison and pork and fish, fresh baked and sea salt, and baskets of crusty bread and steaming soup too. Truly there was enough to feed 5,000, but there were only 500 there to eat it. As they poured out the wine and ale, filling every goblet to the brim, the sense of the feast that lay before them filled the air with
Succulence.
And their nostrils too, so that their appetites wheated. They were all longing now to begin. But the High King and his queen sat there, not touching their food or their drink either. Everyone knew that if they did not begin, than out of respect, nor could anyone else. And everyone knew also why it was that the king was refusing to let the feast begin.
The great hall fell silent as Arthur rose to his feet. You know the custom, he began. I will not take one mouthful or one sip of wine until I am told of some new and stirring tale, some wonderfully outlandish adventure, some extraordinary feat of arms so far unheard of, and it must be true too. I don't want you to go making it up just so you can get at the food. Some of you are good at the tall stories. They laughed at that, but as they looked around, it became clear that none of them had a tale to tell. What? Cried the High King. What? Not one of you? Well, then I see we must all go hungry. Such a pity. Isn't it strange how food you cannot eat always smells so wonderful? It needed be a story. Of course, it could be some new happening, some weird and wondrous event. If I could have a story, then you'd better hope, as I do, that maybe.
Some stranger will come striding in here right now and challenge us face to face. That would do. I'd be happy with that. Then we could all begin.